But let's start with some of the things that we actually say to our senior stakeholders. We're almost kind of talking in riddles and talking in coded language. So the plan looks tight. What does that actually mean? Well, how tight? That's the obvious question that you would ask. Well, it probably means we can't deliver on time, so we can't meet the timescales. We're not where we need to be. I've actually seen this in a report, and I went back to the project manager and said, what does that actually mean? Where do we need to be? How far away are we? Well, usually means we're behind on the plan, so we slip it. Costs are under pressure. Well, kind of how much pressure? Well, usually means we're going to overspend. It never means that we're going to come in under the cost. So business analysts, they kind of worked through it all, came back, and they spent 18 months. By the time they came to see me, they'd spent 18 months trying to get a decision. And you think, crikey, what is going on? So we kind of did a brown paper exercise, and we kind of mapped the whole thing out just to show kind of what was happening in the decision points and so on. And what became apparent to me is that we got something I would call decision paralysis. And you know, they were kind of doing loads of work to actually prove the facts and to go through, you know, the logic and gather the data and all the rest of it. But to me, there was a key area that they were missing, and without this, they would never get a decision. So what was that key area? Well, I think that key area was fear. So had they addressed the key fears and asked to me, the two key questions that you've got to consider with your senior stakeholders when you're asking for a major decision that's going to have wide sweeping impact. Can you think what those two questions are? Another example from a project, on a steering group, we often just push issues down the road. We push it into the long grass. So here was a test plan for that same system that was going to launch a complete system replacement. So we had thousands of tests to do. So the blue line was the line drawn by the test manager that said, this is the velocity. This is how quickly we need to accomplish those tests. This is how, you know, the trajectory of how we need to get through the tests. So early days, it was fine. And then the kind of brownish line coming from the bottom left-hand corner was the actual experience over a period of weeks. So we started in June. By kind of end of July, we got a couple of months experience of doing the tests. And there was a deviation between what we expected and the actual experience of how it was going.